In the first episode of Say What, the comic art of depicting sound, we focused on basic balloon anatomy and shape variations thereof. In today's episode, we explore how dialogue balloons behave in conversation, how they clarify reading orders, support pacing, and help guide the viewer through spoken exchanges within a panel. My name is Vernon. Welcome to Toon School. So when you have a creative conundrum where you are presented with way too much text than can comfortably fit within a dialogue balloon, or you have a composition where the dialogue balloon keeps getting in the way, the artist does have the freedom to manipulate the balloon. The first option is your double balloon, where two or more balloons are merged together by fusing their borderlines. This is a very versatile and economical solution for any composition. It presents you with a balloon that wraps naturally around the text. And this is a very good solution as well if you have a character that has to deliver multiple lines within a single panel. If you give the character one large balloon, chances are that the text will be read continuously, and giving them two different balloons could clutter up the artwork. So the double balloon offers a visual break between the two remarks. A very strong alternative to the double balloon is when two single balloons are connected by a narrow band or tunnel. This alternative creates a natural pause between the spoken sentences, and it can also indicate that the character is having a shift in thought, so you can actually change the subject. Also, it is very handy in a composition because you can actually adapt it to suit your composition. It is a very subtle structural tool that helps control rhythm and pacing within a panel. Moving over to conversations between multiple characters within a single panel. When assigning a balloon to each remark, it can quickly clutter up a composition and also create confusion regarding the reading order. The other alternative, of course, would be to assign a single panel for each remark. I've seen a lot of the Toon Schoolers do this, especially with their first comics. I've done that with my first attempt. There's definitely a space for this within visual storytelling, but it can become incredibly monotonous. He said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said, and not to mention it will make your comic book incredibly long. So enters the call and response balloon. This is a balloon structure that consists of a sequence of balloons connected by narrow bands or tunnels, forming a visual chain of dialogue. Of course, with the same as any other balloon, the pointer or the tail connects loosely or aims loosely to the character who is speaking, and then to guide the viewer through the exchange, the balloons are positioned in such a way that the eye naturally follows the flow of the conversation. So it's sort of spaced, if we go back to this one, sort of spaced in a zigzag format so that you naturally follow the flow of the conversation. Finally, we get to the character that's not even in the picture. Presented by the off-panel character balloon. It's a character who's not visible within the reader's line of sight. This can be achieved in different ways. First of all, very simple, you have the pointer exit the panel in the direction from which the voice originates. The second alternative to this is the foreshortened pointer. It's narrow at the base of the balloon and it widens towards the panel border. This not only suggests that there's another character speaking, but also it gives you direction. it slightly changes the angle of the character. The fact that it's foreshortened means in this case that the character is sort of standing here next to the viewer. So it's actually quite handy. The first time I saw this was, I want to say, in Asterix and the Laurel Wreath. There was a court case and it was a long panel and the viewer was in front of the judge's bench. So the panel or the pointer actually foreshortened to the top to indicate that the judge is sitting there and speaking over the viewer's head. So it was incredibly clever. It opened up my world. The final option is the inverted pointer, commonly used in manga, where a triangular shape directs inward towards the balloon rather than outwards towards the speaker. This is a very ingenious solution because it basically solves the problem of what to do with a pointer. So basically just pointing it inwards is like, okay, dealt with and done. Characters off panel. Very handy, very handy. Dialogue balloons are more than mere containers for words, and understanding how to utilize them allows the artist to express complex dialogue clearly while maintaining strong composition. In the episodes to follow, we shift the focus to balloon expression, starting with how different balloon styles can indicate volume. Until next time, go out, be great, live creatively in very many directions, and may the creative force be with you. For the longest time, I have been trying to establish whether there is a term for the little band or tunnel that connects the Link double balloon and the call and response balloon. I just cannot imagine that cartoonists being cartoonists, no one has ever come up with a kooky name or term for this element, much like Mort Walker did in the Lexicon of Comicana, where he gave quirky terms for the elements that we use on a regular basis. So I'm putting it to you. If you are aware of terms for this little tunnel, or you have any suggestions of what could be a nice or quirky term, please drop your suggestions in the comments below. To quote Lilu from The Fifth Element, please help.